Hello and welcome everyone. A couple months ago I made use of the €9 ticket to go all the way from Freiburg in the southwestern corner of Germany to Berlin in the northeast, using only regional and regional express trains. The €9 ticket was a German federal government initiative that allowed for a limited time last summer endless travel for a whole month throughout Germany using all modes of public transport, from the local buses and trams and all the way up to almost all of the Regio Express trains. Having done this journey so many times using regular long-distance services such as the intercity express trains and the intercity, also coach buses, I understand that this is a very long distance to attempt using regional trains only. This video is not recommending folks who have other options and can use long-distance trains to instead travel on regional trains for such a long distance. There will be people who can only use regional trains, especially if they live in a place where ICE trains don't stop, or they can't afford ICE or ICE tickets because they can get quite expensive, or need to transport bicycles, for example, which can be tricky with ICE trains. Always, please check with Deutsche Bahn before you ever do that. This video was actually an attempt at answering a question I've always wondered about. What if Germany had merged all the different local train tariff zones and had a federal-wide public transport ticket? To be clear, a form of such tariff zone does exist in theory, and while one can purchase a ticket that can do just that, before the €9 ticket as well, these tickets were in fact limited in terms of when they can be used, usually only on weekends, or were simply as expensive as the Saver ticket or a special discount ICE ticket. My reality though, what ended up happening was that instead of just having 2 stops in Baden-Württemberg, for example, I ended up having 7 stops. I had to change trains and buses 7 times just within the state of Baden-Württemberg. And that was just the first part of my trip. Having traveled literally across Germany using public transport only, not hindered by any tariff or ticket concerns, what was my conclusion? Well, for starters, I struggled to even leave the state I live in, Baden-Württemberg. Of course, Baden-Württemberg is a huge state and naturally the longest section of my travel was through it. I thought, however, that given that the regionalization of public transport laws should have made the transport within the state coherent, right? Well, not really. The broken connections within Baden-Württemberg eerily look like they stop just at the local tariff zones within different counties of Baden-Württemberg. You see, each county or metropolitan area has its own tariff zone, and it seemed like despite the map showing that the RE7 in Baden-Württemberg, for example, goes from Basel-Badische Bahnhof to Karlsruhe, it somehow gets split up, sometimes terminating in Freiburg or Offenburg, or only operating between Freiburg and Offenburg, and then running a separate train between Offenburg and Karlsruhe. When there are no connection issues, the Regio Express number 7 can at times stop in Offenburg for around 20 minutes, rendering the very idea of its supposed direct connection redundant and wasting everyone's time. The other main issue is the frequency. Despite these trains being regional trains, serving local towns and communities and forming the backbone of public transport for commuters in them, the average frequency between trains was from 30 minutes to 1 hour. If you've arrived a bit late, or the bus, tram, train bringing you to the train station was also a few minutes late, you might miss your regional train connection. For me, in the context of my trip, it was a nuisance for sure, but eventually I made it. However, if this was my ride to work, my connection to the airport, or to another ICE from the next major town or city nearby, then it would have severely impacted my day. This could be one of the many reasons why, despite having a theoretically very good rail network across the country, as a result of the persistent ongoing maintenance, staffing and scheduling issues, the regional train services along many sections in Germany may not be reliable enough for many commuters, who end up simply getting a car and driving to work every day, for example. If you live in Germany, or if you have ever had traveled on Germany's regional trains, please leave a comment below. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel, and if you've got some change to spare and would like to support this channel, you can head to Ko-fi to leave a one-time contribution or visit my Patreon account to become a member of the Submonitor. Thank you for watching, wish you happy holidays and see you soon. Bye.
RB 83 nach Schwäbisch Hall, Hessental. In Zügen gilt weiterhin die gesetzliche Maskenpflicht. Bitte tragen Sie Ihre Maske über Mund, Nase. Nächste Station.